Hello and welcome. I am Alan, and today I thought we would go ahead and talk about something many people would consider two antithetical sides. But I don't think so. I think actually, if they're mixed together, they can make one of the better unions in political theory, and that is socialism and capitalism. Most people, like I said, would consider them the antithesis of each other. They would be, complete opposites. But I feel that if you put them together, it can bring a lot of harmony into the political situation in which they're involved. Um, because honestly, pure capitalism or pure socialism are poison. They must be intertwined. Um, because honestly, a pure capitalist system, if you had pure capitalism, the deaths, especially among the poor, it would be unsustainable. It'd be gruesome. The U.S., even unto itself, does not practice pure capitalism. To have a successful nation, you must have a combination of both. And again, socialism, if you were try to pull pure socialism, that doesn't work. Capitalism and socialism must be mixed. And if that happens, it becomes an amazing unification that can set the country on the right path. Um, because, like I said, if you combine the two, you have the services needed in socialism to keep capitalism profitable, but allow the poor to survive, the middle class to survive in the ways that are needed. And that's what kills me, because the Republicans want to cut all these socialistic programs, Medicaid, Medicare, and Social Security. They're all socialistic programs because they help the people overall. It's basically taking a combination from all to try to help everyone. And you must have these programs. You cannot just give and give and give to the rich. It doesn't work that way. I don't understand why they have such a hard on for the rich, for the corporations. Leave Medicaid, Medicare, and socialism alone. It's there to help the majority of the people. Because, like I said, capitalism alone, poison. But if you combine it with socialism, it can be a beautiful thing, because you still have the capitalism to help the more fortunate grow their fortunes, but you aren't leaving the poor and the middle class out in the dark. That's why you tax the rich, you tax the corporations. Anybody that can afford to pay. I ain't saying tax everyone, but the rich and the corporations definitely. Because as an American citizen, you should have a responsibility. A responsibility. Not just we ask you. You should have a damn responsibility to pay your taxes to help the less fortunate. Period. So while you're making a bigger income, a lot of that money doesn't just get held up to stay in your bank account. You still have that responsibility to help the people. And these taxes make sure that is done. We can't be sure you'll be that altruistic to help the people because you're a millionaire, billionaire. We don't have that kind of guarantee that you'll be altruistic. And many of you it's a tiny portion you want to spend to try to seem altruistic. No. Show you've got some true altruism, that you want to help the people. But that's kind of my point. If you have a good combination of both, it allows the rich to continue making fortunes for themselves, but it guarantees that everyone else isn't left in the lurch just because the rich want to get richer. And right now, unfortunately, we've leaned too far into the realm of capitalism. We still have socialism in matters, but it's not near as big as it once was to help the poor, to help everyone. Under Franklin Delano Roosevelt, we had a socialistic program list to try to help the people. If you're a millionaire, if you're a billionaire, you'll survive. You'll survive. You aren't going to die. But unfortunately, we've allowed such a growth in capitalism and tried to shy away from socialism to help balance it out that it's made a bad situation in the US. And we need to go back to taxing the rich and the corporations. We really do. Taxing them heavily. I mean, a 70% tax is not all that bad. Under Eisenhower, we had 91% on millionaires. So after the first 10 million, you only kept 9% of what you made. Now they're just asking, you can still keep 30% of what you make after 10 million, but you've got to pay the rest to help the American people. And that makes perfect sense. This isn't guided towards the middle class, the lower class. It's only people that make over $10 million. So I laugh when people are like, that means they'll tax me. No, that means they'll tax millionaires and billionaires. Period. Fact. Duh. It's insane. We have to recognize this. We have to stop and find out that yes, we have used socialism in the past and we should get back to it. And it's scary that groups like Fox News try to fearmonger using socialism to help the people. They fearmonger such things instead of trying to help the people. That's why I do not use Fox News to do my Saturday news, week in review. Socialism and capitalism do fit together. We did it once in this country and we can do it again. As long as the falsehoods aren't allowed to be perpetuated throughout the people. They need to be intertwined. If you make millions and billions, it's a responsibility. A responsibility. It's not just an option. It's a responsibility you have to pay so we can dole out socialism to help the middle classes, the lower classes. Instead of, hospital debt, which I've got thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands, tens of thousands and thousands, tens of thousands and tens of thousands of hospital bills. I've been sued because I don't have the money to pay them. It shows that it's a failure. We need a Medicare for all type system. And honestly, it shouldn't be Medicare for all. It should just be national health care. Because Medicare for all still counts on insurance companies. And they've been one of the biggest banes when it comes to paying for health care. We need a national healthcare system in which every citizen can be taken care of. But honestly, if you want to own insurance, you should be allowed to own insurance. But I think every American should have the option of having national health care. You shouldn't have to be afraid because if you get sick, you're going to have to pay a bill in the thousands and thousands and thousands. I've had numerous MRIs and everything because they don't know what's wrong with my balance and everything. Because I do have balance issues. But I figured I would rant about that a little bit. Capitalism and socialism need to be used together. If they're used together, it can make a better society. Don't let it lean too far one way or the other. And right now, we're too far on the capitalistic end. I think all because there was such an attempt to scare people from communism. We need more socialistic programs to help the people. It's part of the reason I like Bernie Sanders. I like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. They speak common sense. Programs to help the people. Think about it. I mean, this is not mind-blowing. It's just, well, if you do this, if they make this much money and you use a big portion, you use about 70% after 10 million to provide health care to the people, to provide free higher education. Oh, it's brilliant. Suddenly you help your populace grow. It's just, it's common sense, people. Anyway, as always, educate thyself. I don't have the picture up yet, but I'll try to get it up at some point so we could start having videos back on a norm like we used to. Um, but think, read, study, and learn. Educate thyself. As always, I'll see you all again in the next video. But until then, later.